Hi, and welcome to the Spare Room's Conference Podcast, where we have conversations about various things in our spare room. I'm Brendan Ford, and I'm with the awesome and forever beautiful Brooke Cosmo.
Hey guys.
Brooke, how are you living?
Pretty good. It's the weekend. Pretty tired though. I just kind of want to lay on the couch today and do nothing, even though we have like a million things to do around the house today, but I'm tired.
Yep, we move into a house and we start getting a big list of things to do. Hate it.
Like, we have a list
Hate
and
it.
just keep adding to it.
Yeah. But Brooke, let's go ahead. Let's get into this thing. I know that we've been working on the back end setup for like 20 minutes now.
Yes.
It's always a hassle. Like every episode, this is episode 15, and like every single one, we start off with trending topics. Some stuff that you all should know that happened over the past week. Brooke, do you want to start us off here?
Yep, I'll take us away. So, some kind of sad trending news. Some passings, some icons in the TV world. Jerry Springer passed away this week, and so did Len Goodman. And if you're not sure who Len Goodman is, he's a Dancing with the Stars judge. So, some really, like, iconic, like, TV legends are past now, and it's kind of really sad.
Yeah, it is really sad. I think Springer was in his 70s, right? And then Len Goodman was like 85.
Yeah, I know he was like in his 80s. I'm kind of feel sad for Len. I'm not really sure like how he passed, but I know he had just had like his last season for Dancing with the Stars, so it's kind of sad. He was just trying to enjoy his last years, and now he's passed. But
yeah,
I think it was peaceful though, so that's a plus.
Jerry Springer one is wild because he's been around. I think he was like a core centerpiece of most of our childhood, like people like our age. Like he was always on TV. The Springer Show was always on TV. I feel like that thing ran like 24/7.
Yeah.
And no, he was like a goat in the entertainment and showbiz world. Like he ran that show. It was all around him. Like he was a masterclass entertainer, a masterclass host.
Right.
And I feel like his passing was almost kind of sudden too. Like I don't know if he was ill or what, but like in the 70s, gone. Like, you know, so it seemed like a very sudden thing, but no, RIP to both of them. Nah, man, it's sad. It's crazy.
Right, I agree, because, yeah, like, thinking back, both of them, like, I didn't watch either of the shows, like, really at all, but I remember seeing them both, so it's kind of just crazy, like, thinking of, like, two people who were, like, on shows in our, like, childhood have now passed. It's kind of crazy. Makes me think of, like, who the, like, now, like, up-and-coming people of, like, this generation kind of, like, well, who would their Jerry Springer be? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I don't even know.
I feel like one of the only, like, TV hosts that's, like, popular, like, still younger, that, like, maybe the younger generation might know is, like, Steve Harvey, to be honest.
Steve Harvey, but then there's also, like, Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, yeah. I forget about Ryan Seacrest.
He's a long time dude. Long time showbiz guy.
My class talks about Steve Harvey. That's the only reason I thought about
Steve Harvey is also a GOAT.
Yeah.
No, his story is awesome too.
Right, like he came from like nothing, right?
Came from nothing, and he started out like pretty late in his like life too, and then he just kept grinding, and then boom.
No, that's honestly like really cool, and he's like a funny guy, so like he's good on TV. He's awesome. I like him.
Me too.
And another death that's not really sad at all is I don't really know how to say her name. Carolyn Doham died. So if we don't know who that is, she is the woman who falsely accused Emmett Till of coming onto her, and then he was killed. So
yeah,
really sad and unfortunate for him, especially like during that time, and honestly don't really care that she's gone now. But
yeah, I feel like no one really cares. People are like, thank God she's gone.
right.
I don't know, like,
I didn't even know she's still alive.
Me too. I think
honest.
she lived to like 88 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's freaking horrible.
But I don't think anyone's sad about it. She sucks. Awful person, obviously, like,
right.
scum.
I know I keep seeing people, like, share the comments, like, oh, right to HELL for you. Like,
yeah,
literally.
No, like, yeah, like, you had prolonged it for, like, 60 years or whatever.
Right, like,
years.
your time,
like, now
your
it's
time
time
has
for
been,
you to go down there.
right, your time has been needed, for sure. No.
I love how we're just laughing at her, like, demise.
Right, we're like, ha. Literally. She's like a horrible person. Like, it's messed up. But I mean, times back then were messed up, and it's just crazy to think that someone who lived during those times, like, doing things like that is still alive is crazy to me. But anyways, just shows that racism was not that far away from us. But anyways, moving on, because we don't care about her. More news is President Joe Biden announced that he plans on running for re-election in 2024, which is crazy.
I'm not sure how I actually feel about this.
I don't know.
Okay, so
either.
First of all, I don't lean one way or the other regarding to like politics. Like, I'm not left or right. Where like I don't really care, but like I don't know. Like we don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about this one. Like he's gonna be like not to be like ageist or whatever, but he's gonna be 86 at the end of his second term.
Oh, see, like, don't we want someone like young and with today's society?
Yeah, can we just have
like,
someone
please?
who's like a little bit like I don't know. Yeah, like you said, like younger and like I don't know. I'm not big into like politics, and honestly, like, I don't even know what the hell has been going on in the whole like political world. Like I don't know. So I can't really speak on like the actual action he has taken over the past 3 years, 3-ish years. So I don't know, but like.
I don't know. I'm just anxious.
I don't know if I want him.
Yeah, I'm anxious to just see who else is going to be running. Let's just say that.
Well, I saw something that I don't think what I saw on like LinkedIn pertaining to this. I don't think there's another like Democratic candidate that's stepping forward at this moment.
Well, I also I don't know how these things go. Isn't it when like so? Okay, first off, I can't believe it's already re-election time coming up. But so since he's the president, he's in the Democratic Party, can't no other Democrats like run? It's only more Republicans? Or is that false?
That's what I assumed.
Right.
But when I saw like the LinkedIn article about it, it made it seem like someone could step up and challenge him.
Oh.
Because why else would it say like no one has stepped up?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know that was a thing, but you're probably right.
I don't know.
I just don't know anything about like how these elections go. So
someone's probably listening to this right now. Like these two
like,
people are idiots for not knowing this, but it's true. Like I don't care about politics really, and I probably should be more knowledgeable and do more research pertaining to that stuff. But like, it's tough because you don't know like
what's reliable.
There's always some sort of edge or agenda behind every single post you see on social media and an article pertaining politics. So it's kind of like what's real, what's false, like
right.
And people.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just gonna say during like elections, I do try to like educate myself because I don't want to be voting for someone who is like a horrible person, obviously. But that's my only thing is like I don't know much, but like I try to look into the candidates before voting. That's obviously the smartest thing to do.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say, and I see like this trolls on social media all the time. Because people say like, people pretty much say what I just said. Like, I don't keep up with politics because you don't know what's true and what's false. People are like, just read both sides and make your own decision. I'm like, you're right. I could take 2 hours of my daily life to read both sides of the spectrum and read all the articles and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. Like, I just don't care enough, and like it's too out. Like, there's so much stuff out there,
Right.
and we have to cipher through so many articles and posts to find the middle ground, which the truth usually lies in the middle. Which I get that it's a fair statement, but no, like, but maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of content creator out there who just shares like unbiased political news and stuff.
Right, someone should do that, because, yeah, I was going to say the same thing, like, what you said is exactly my thoughts. Like, it just, like, stinks that we can't just, like, go and look up on something. We have to look through millions of things and read both sides, and it takes forever to find out, like, the truth and, like, what everything is on a certain topic or a certain viewpoint, and it's just as hard. Someone should honestly be the middleman. Like, people would follow someone who reports on, like, the middle ground and says, like, the facts of both sides.
Yeah. I just want someone to give me political news just black and white.
Right.
No
I agree.
edge or agenda to it.
Right.
Just give it to me straight. What is going on? What are the things the president and his administration are doing to affect stuff? Like, just give me the cold hard facts.
Right, and that's when you make your opinion, you take your side after that, because I hate all the runaround and everything. It's so frustrating.
I was looking for the post I saw on LinkedIn about it. And it's from the Associated Press, like this article. First of all, I guess he launched his reelection campaign in a 3-minute video. I'm not watching that.
No.
And and then it says, like, in quotes, no serious Democratic rivals have stepped up for the nomination. So it sounds like someone from the same party could step up and rival Biden.
Interesting.
Then it goes on to say, this is putting him on a course for a potential rematch against former President Donald Trump. So here we go.
Please, can they both drop?
Biden v. Trump, round 2.
I'm done. I'm done with both of them. I can't.
I want 2 fresh options here, honestly.
Honestly, please, something good. Like, we had some younger candidates, like, in the, like, previous election. I'm like, why were we not more for them? Like, come on, like, seriously. But I know a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings and biases and whatever.
Well, it's also to be said that I feel like our generation doesn't really vote.
That's facts.
As much. So, like, old people are getting out there and voting for old people. So if you're an old person, sorry about that, but it's
but
true.
It's true, yeah. Yeah. It's not really, I feel like, encouraged, as much to our generation. You know what I mean? Or, like, I don't even know. I feel like in high school even, I, like, learning about election, I'm like, I don't know nothing about an election. My mom had to show me how to fill out the paper when we went the first time. And
that's normal, though.
I know, but, like, don't you think we should, like, learn about that?
I mean, I feel like learning how to fill, like, you talking about when you register to vote or when you go actually go vote?
When you go actually vote.
You just figure out when we get there. We need our generation just to go. Like, who cares about how to fill out the form? Like, just go and show up, and we can get some candidates in there that we think properly represent us and our thoughts and ideals and all that stuff. That's, like, the very, very first step. Like, I don't care. Like, people in our generation just got to care more.
That's facts.
About it, you know?
That is true.
Changing gears here. Aaron Rodgers was finally traded to New York Jets. I feel like this is a saga that's been going on for months now. Ever since he came out of the darkness retreat.
Not the darkness.
He was finally traded to, like, the Jets. And then, keeping the same theme of football news, obviously the NFL draft was this weekend, started Thursday night, and then ends Saturday morning. And we are recording this 10 a.m. Saturday morning, so the final day hasn't happened yet. But it'll be rounds 4 through 7 today, so it should be kind of quick. Even before the draft started, there was big news with Lamar Jackson. Like, I just said that weird. he finally got his contract with the Baltimore Ravens, a 5-year, $260 million deal.
What?
Making him the highest paid player in the league, which is awesome for him. And he did it all without an agent, which is wild. Yeah. So he's one of those like he wants to keep every dime that he earns.
Sure.
Right. So like when you have an agent, they take a small fee of your overall value of your like contract, like whatever you're paid, right? So
sense,
if I'm your agent, I get capped 3% of whatever your deal value is.
Gotcha.
So he saved some money there. Glad that it worked out for him. It was a standstill for a while. And then 185 million out of the 260 is guaranteed. So
wow,
he's gonna be.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
In it.
When you talk about generational wealth,
that's it.
That's gonna last like 20 generations, bro. Like that's a lot of money.
I can't even fathom that much money. That's insane.
Yeah.
All for playing football. That's crazy.
Well, it's not just all for playing football. Dude's a monster.
Well,
I know you don't really follow like the world, but like the world of like football as much, but like he is a dog.
Okay, well obviously he's making a bunch of money, but no, just to think about it, like come on, this man, like when you think about it, they're like just playing football. Like this is crazy to get that much money. I mean, obviously he's talented.
Well, we were talking about this the other day. Like some of the highest revenue generating businesses are NFL teams, like $1 billion a year. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the whole NFL exploded. This is kind of like a random sidebar, but I was talking with Brooke about this. It's kind of weird how like I forget the exact year that football became a thing. At least 100 years ago, probably a little bit more. Yeah, it's weird. I was like, someone that's like picked up like or made like an odd shaped ball, and I was like, hey, we're gonna make a game where I run around with this thing, and then people have to chase me and tackle me, and that's like pretty much it.
Literally.
And then it evolved in this multi-billion-dollar like industry, and like people's whole lives are centered around a sport that someone made up 100 years ago. This the past time, like can you imagine? Like,
no, I know, that's what I keep thinking about. I'm like, that literally is formed into this now, like making hundreds of millions of dollars as a player.
It's weird. Like my mind just keeps going to like a couple people in like a yard or like a parking lot just running around tackling each other hundreds of years ago, like not hundreds, like 100 years ago. Yeah. And just imagine them tackling each other and be like, and then people are like walking by the yard. It's like, what are y'all doing? It's like, we're playing a made up game called football. Like, why is it called that? I don't know. Sometimes we kick the ball with our foot. Oh, what do you do? Oh, well, I run. These people are chasing me, and then these people stop the people from like chasing me. Oh, can I play? Yeah, sure. And then it just evolved, and like more people just started playing.
So weird. It's crazy.
It's like everything in this world is like just like made up. I swear. Like, it's just like
it is though.
And then like not even like the whole money component, but like now it's like an entire pipeline of talent. Like got created just from that one game, like from like Pee-wee all the way up through college. Like we're talking about like how was the NFL draft a thing? Like how did that come to be?
How did that come? Literally.
Like seriously, just thinking about like this people getting drafted in like a made up draft just to go play NFL football. It's like how did that come to be?
Exactly. It's crazy.
It's so weird. And this kind of bleeds into our next segment. We have a new segment called Open Mic, where you pretty much like metaphorically step on a stage and talk about anything and everything that you like want to. Yes. So it's kind of like that whole sidebar probably could have saved for this like segment because it's super like off the wall random. Right.
It flows nice though.
But we create this segment to kind of capture, because like the whole purpose of the show is to mimic this like two people is having a conversation about random stuff, right? So we're trying to like bucket our conversation in like different segments to kind of keep some sort of structure to it.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, oh, let's just create an open mic segment. Like, we're just walking up stage and talking about whatever we thought about over the past week that doesn't fit in like trending news or our other segments like pop culture and entertainment updates and whatnot. So, oh no, Brooke, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to keep on going with my topics?
I can go. So, my open mic is coming back to my teaching stories. So I don't have a current teaching story, so I'm going to share one from my previous class from last year. So to set the background of this story, my classroom was right across from the boys' bathroom. And tell me why this year also, sidebar, my classroom is also across from the boys' bathroom. Why do I get stuck by the boys' bathroom? I don't get it. But anyways, so just so we all know that, it was just a normal day, you know, I'm in class and I actually wasn't teaching at this time. Like, I don't remember exactly what we were doing. But I remember I was at my desk, like, working. I don't think I was working with any students, but they were working on something. And I was, like, writing something down. I don't know. And with our door, like, where it's at, so we have the door, and then there was, like, a window right next to it. And so I can see through the window into the bathroom, right? Not in a weird way, but, like, I could see the bathroom, like, sinks and
like
stuff.
The actual like doorway, archway,
yes,
like entryway,
And so I don't know what possessed me to just, you know, like look up as I'm like writing something down. I see my student, a third grader, literally like Spider-Man up on the walls so it's like all the way at the top. Mind you, this kid's like maybe 3 feet tall, like short. And the doorway is probably like 6-7 feet tall. He's at the top, hands on the wall, feet on the wall.
So
like
he was
Spider-Man.
climbing up the side of the walls?
He climbed up the side of the walls.
Props. Respect.
And literally, like after school, like I tried it. I don't know how I did it.
I tried it. You're just in the doorway.
I was like, how'd he get up there? He's so tiny. And I was like, just looked up and I was like, what is happening? So I went in there and I went out there. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. And like, mind you, at this time I had gotten out there and then another boy was trying to go in the bathroom while he was up there. He's just staring at him. And we're both like looking at him. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. Like, just so chill. Like, I don't know.
He's like, just want to see if I can do it.
I was like, you are not allowed to go to the bathroom without asking me now, because now I don't trust you that you're not going to climb the walls. Like, what? Like, who would have thought I had to worry about a student climbing the walls in the bathroom? Like, it literally is outrageous. Like,
that's wild.
I can't. Like, that memory is, like, forever engraved in my brain. And, like, that literally happened, like, towards the beginning of the year too. It was crazy. I was like, I never thought I'd have to think about this ever. It was crazy.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Literally, like both hands and feet all the way up at the top, like the roof, like his head's about to hit. It was crazy.
I don't know what that kid is doing now, but he's going places. I tell you what.
Some crazy like
parkour stuff. That's actually like crazy. Like I actually have major props for him. I know like it was really frustrating for you, but honestly, if I saw that, I'd be like, damn.
No, it's funny cool. now, but yeah, honestly, like when I tried it, I was like, I don't know how he did that. Like,
yeah, no, major props to him. I don't know how he can pull that off. Yeah, Brooke, that's wild. I don't know what I would have done if I saw that. I'd probably be like, dude, that's low-key fire, but like you have to like get down from there because that's like a safety risk. Like you cannot do
literally. That. They don't teach you that in teacher school. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and I don't know what sport that type of skill will be good for. Like maybe being like a gymnast or a pole vault for track and field, but. His parents, you should tell his parents that, like, listen, you might have like a Hall of Famer like pole vaulter in your household right now. This kid was climbing the wall like no problem. Dude is tiny. I don't know how he did that. No, it's wild.
I'm shook.
My open mic topic, besides the evolution of football and how it impacts the world today.
Exactly.
I read a newsletter written by Jack Rains.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm saying that right. He's like a content creator, primarily focused on writing content to blogs and newsletters.
Okay.
I read his newsletter called Young Money.
Young Money.
And he was pretty much like talking about how the impact of declining birth rates and how the FIRE movement, I don't know if you remember that, Brooke. I talked about that a while ago, called Financially Independent Retirement Early, FIRE. How it's impacting our like economy as it is. And like it low-key makes sense. So like if we're not having as many kids, our future workforce will be lower, right? And then you marry that with like people leaving the workforce at like a younger age.
Yeah.
So then there's a gap in like people to work and talent.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah,
especially
me either.
The kid part.
Because
Interesting.
The big thing on like LinkedIn right now that I see often is people like leaving their big corporate job and starting their own like solo business, or even just retiring in general and not doing anything else.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that makes sense. Like if people are leaving the workforce in their 30s and 40s, and like in order to retire at that age, I mean, you gotta be somewhat talented and skilled,
right?
Exactly. Like if you're working in sales, I see, because mostly people I see are from like salespeople, because they just get a bunch of money and then they invest it or save and they can just kind of dip out of their work or job at like a younger age. But I mean, it can be any job, I guess. But in order to do that, you gotta be pretty good. Like you gotta have you gotta be generating enough sales and big enough sales to justify having enough money to not work again. Like it's a pretty big thing. So if they're leaving the workforce at scale, thinking about all the talent that is leaving the overall workforce.
Honestly, yeah.
You know?
That is crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, damn. And he wasn't making a point that like retiring early is necessarily bad. It's just like he could see that being an impact in decades from now.
Right.
Regarding the workforce, and that people are not having as many kids, right? And he said there's a lot of other factors that go into play to this, but one that's kind of spoke out to me is having kids is expensive. Like
for sure,
kids cost a lot of money.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if you're someone who wants to retire early, right? You might not be a person that also has like, I don't know, 3 or more kids.
Right.
You know?
That is true. Because
that's a good amount of money. You definitely probably want to have a big family, like 5+.
Yeah.
Or at least 5 kids.
Yeah,
you know?
No, that's crazy. I also like think about that with what you're saying with like in relation to like my profession, like teaching. I think about that now, like teachers that like leave the profession too, like how much like talent and things of that are like leaving the workforce too, and to either retire or find another job, you know? So yeah, it's so like society's like so different now with like things with work, and I don't know, I feel like work's gonna be a lot different, like you're saying, like with these future generations coming up, and now you're saying like not a lot of kids, people aren't having kids as often, like that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, to your point about teachers leaving, like I actually work with someone who left teaching like 4 years ago, I think she said, and she works in sales now. But yeah, she was like, she was so fed up with teaching. And she's like from like income standpoint and like work-life balance and like this overall like mental stability, like she's like, I had to leave teaching. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
So many people are, it's crazy. But yeah, that's wild.
And yeah, that's basically my open mic segment topic. Like I never thought about the impact of retiring early would have on the economy at that scale. And like I don't think too many people are doing it right now. for it to be like a really drastic short to medium term like impact on the workforce.
Right.
But say this trend keeps going for decades. Mm-hmm. That's when things might get a little bit hairy.
Right. Like affecting the whole globe. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We're almost done here. We got 2 more segments. This is our pop culture / entertainment update section, where we talk about like sometimes TV shows that are out right now that you should see. Maybe one-off stories about celebrities that we kind of picked up on and we think you all should know too. Brooke, do you want to start this? Or you want me to go ahead?
You can start off this section first.
Okay. Brooke got me kind of hooked on this show. It's kind of weird, but it's not weird. It's a very like mindless TV show. If you don't mind like a mindless comedy sitcom-ish show, this is for you.
It's so good.
The show is called Working Moms.
It's literally so funny. And like, just like you said, you could just like relax and be mindless and watching the show. And it's like funny. Like, it's not like some of those shows where people are like, so hilarious. Like, I don't know, where some people are, I feel like Friends, sometimes people are like, so funny. Where I'm like, I don't feel like it's like so funny. Like, it's a little mindless and I might be like, haha. You know, but that's how I feel like Working Moms is. But it's pretty funny sometimes. Like, I actually LOL, you know?
It's all right.
Okay.
He's
hiding his excitement right now.
It's all right. Like, I never, like, fell out of my chair laughing.
No.
But it's kind of like you said, it's kind of like a...
But yeah, like, sometimes, like, stuff is just funny where you're kind of like, oh, like, it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of just right. a good mindless show.
So far, season 6 just came out. So, I think it's 6 or is it 7?
I really don't know. But if that tells you anything, we watched all of those.
We did. And if you're new to the show, never heard it, then you're in a good spot because you can go binge it. Mm-hmm. You can binge all 6 or 7 seasons. But I was going to say the first episode of this newest season didn't really capture me that much. So I don't know if this season is going to be like very mid. I think it's also like the last season too.
I think it is too.
Because the last episode of this season is titled The End.
Oh.
And no, I did not look through all the title slides things, show like the previews. I just, when I logged on to Netflix and I saw this season, like first of all, when I clicked on it, it brought us back to season 1, episode 1, like the very first episode. So I was like, okay. And then when I clicked on, like the tab to see the episodes, it brought me down to the bottom. And then I saw it, I was like, oh, so this is the end.
Yeah.
So I'm low-key kind of happy about that. I think it is kind of losing its like steam a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not much of like a plot around the show anymore. It's kind of like random one-off stuff. But
yeah.
Another show I'm excited about. I know Brooke, you're not a fan of this, but Black Mirror.
No, I'm too frightened.
The season 6 trailer dropped on this past Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot. It's like loaded with a lot of celebrities. And just like to name a few, Aaron Paul, Salma Hayek, Annie Murphy, and then Michael Cera.
I might be dumb, but I feel like I've never heard of any of them. Maybe I've seen them, but I'm so bad with celebrities though. So
Aaron Paul played in Breaking Bad.
Who?
I forget Walter's buddy's name. Oh, so bad. It's been a long time now.
I know who you're talking about.
He played Jesse.
Jesse, yes.
Yep.
You're right.
Okay. Michael Cera, you know who that is. He played in Superbad. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He's like the tall guy with like...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Skinny guy? Right?
Yeah, skinny guy. Yeah.
Okay, I know him. I know both of them.
Salma, I'm not sure. She's been around the biz for a long time. I only know her because her random role in the Marvel movie Eternals. She was in that.
Okay, I know I saw that, but I can't.
She's like another. Well, it's an older movie. I want to say like the Scorpion King or something.
I don't know. I'll look her up.
I'm probably way off. So I'm sorry, guys. Annie Murphy played in Schitt's Creek. She was what was her role? She was a sister, like the daughter / sister in the family, in the main family.
Okay, I was gonna say I've only watched a little bit of it, but I know who that is.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, and there's like a long list. I saw like a big tweet with like 15 names on there, but those kind of like stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's should be pretty good season. The season seems like, based off the trailer, is more like violent and hostile. So yeah, it's gonna be weird. And I mean, I'm sure they are going to address the evolution of AI, which is gonna be kind of scary and creepy to watch. But
I think that's why I literally like hate that show, is because it's like too real. Like, okay, like, well, you're right on the head, and that's the whole point of the show. I know, and that's why I don't like it. It scares me.
Yeah,
it makes me unwell.
Cool. And then look like we have some news on Meghan Trainor that I'll let you kind of touch on.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Meghan Trainor. I was rooting for you, Meghan Trainor. So like Meghan Trainor been like blowing up on TikTok, and I like when celebrities act like, well, they are normal people, but like we see their normal people lives, you know? And like they're relatable. And so yeah, I've been following Meghan Trainor on TikTok. But then recently I saw a million TikToks I've seen, because I am on teacher TikTok, and I also see Meghan Trainor on TikTok. But she had Trisha Paytas on her podcast, which could be a whole thing in with itself with Trisha Paytas. But they were talking about school, and like it was really mindless, and they were talking about like homeschooling and stuff. And Trisha Paytas is like, oh, I'm gonna homeschool, and Meghan's like, yeah, me too. And they're like, oh, just all the stuff with like bulletproof backpacks and everything. And they're like, students, they bully, and they're like, teachers too can be mean. And Meghan said, yeah, F teachers, which like actually said the F word, you know? And, you know, it seemed like it was like nothing like in the moment. And like obviously she was like heated up with what they were talking about. But to a lot of people's point is like it was edited podcast, and like she left that in there like meaningfully. And it just kind of stinks like having someone who has such a huge following saying F teachers, because, you know, that's a very common thing that a lot of people have an opinion on, like teachers know nothing type thing, and like students like with behaviors like don't respect their teachers. So I feel like it kind of narrows down a little bit to like a respect thing, but a lot of teachers are giving her a lot of hate because kind of just like the respect that we don't have, and then someone with a huge following, especially celebrities, saying F teachers just kind of stinks.
Wait, so what was the purpose for saying F teachers? Like what happened again?
Because like Trisha Paytas was saying like kids can be mean at school and bully, and she's like, teachers are mean too. And like Trisha was saying like that was her whole like issue at school, was like teachers, and then Meghan was like, yeah, F teachers. But she also kind of gave a like half-hearted apology, Meghan Trainor did, on...
If you guys just heard that, that's a puppy just mooing for whatever reason, but...
Anyways, she gave like a half-hearted apology and was saying like she said F teachers in the heat of things because I think like her husband and maybe her like brother had like a mean teacher encounter that like gave them a hard time in school.
Yeah, but
so she had like strong opinions, but it's kind of like broad to say that like about all teachers.
You don't just say F teacher for one occurrence. Like,
right.
What?
And she was like, I didn't mean it. And I don't know, her apology was so strange. And she kind of talks in like a baby voice sometimes. She's like, I'm sorry, guys.
Me sorry.
Sorry. Literally. And it's like, okay. And, you know, it was one of those like her holding her phone, like no makeup on. We're like, okay, come on, girl. Like,
fake tears in the eyes.
Like trying to be apologetic, but it just didn't come off that way. And it's like, I don't know. It just kind of sucks because like
that's low key trash.
Like, right, like teachers already don't have respect, and then like for a celebrity to go and say that just
let's call for what it is.
But
that was a trash moment from her.
Honestly, like come on, the girl who sings All About That Bass gonna trash on teachers? Like, come on.
Right, and that mid-ass song, too, talking about F teachers. What?
And to kind of go off of that, I've kind of been, like, dying laughing. So, like, she's having a baby, and, like, people in the comments are like, maybe it'll be a teacher, and, like, cracking me up. And, like, she's also, like, has a book that's coming out, and they'd be like, wow, what would you do without your teacher who taught you how to write and read? Like, you shouldn't sell that if you don't appreciate teachers and stuff. Like, people are going ham on her in her comments, and it just makes me giggle.
People got to be held accountable for, I mean, like, I know cancel culture can get a little bit out of hand.
Right.
But, like, you don't, like, come on. Teaching is, like, one of the hardest jobs out there. Like, you don't say F teachers. Like, you all, like, you and all the teachers go through so much trash.
Right.
For, like, just because out of the kindness of your, like, heart. Like,
oh, I know.
You know what I mean?
And, yeah, I feel like this whole thing about us having a hard job, too, I can go on a rant on forever, because I've gotten into a TikTok argument with some guy that's like, I work construction, that's way harder. Like, okay, we're not going to compare apples to oranges. Like, I don't think you understand what I'm meaning when I say my job is hard. Like, both of our jobs are hard in very different aspects. Like, I can't stand a person that says that. But anyways, yeah, like, we go through so many hardships, and it's just, I don't know. It's just sad that people, like, don't show respect for people who literally, like, help raise and educate all generations. You know what I mean?
Yes. I 100% understand what you are talking about, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, and I'm not a teacher, but from outside looking in, teaching is hard because, one, I see all the hours that you all put through, like put in, I should say. Like, you work at least 50 to 60 hours a week. I can say for certain, because it's an actual work day, and then all the planning and prep after the work day,
right?
And you would come home, you'll get home at like 4:30ish, usually, right? And then you usually take like an hour or so break, eat whatever, chill, and then you're right back to planning. And you do that probably to like 8:30 to 9. Right? And
I do that, like, out of probably, like, 4 or 5 of the days out of the week.
And those are only weekdays.
Right.
On Sunday, you do a big prep period.
Yeah. Like, I spend most of my day doing
Most of the day is Sunday, right? So 5+ hours, sometimes, like, a little bit more. Almost the whole entire work day, like, almost 8 hours of prep work. One of my best buds, Michael, same thing. And then he also coaches, too.
Yeah.
I think he's a 3-sport coach. Basketball, track, and football.
Seriously, more props to him for that.
He just won some award for, like, being the best teacher in, like, the region.
Right, as he should.
I don't want to downplay. Like, I don't know exact. I think it's for the region, like the district. I don't know if it's like a city thing, so I don't want to, like, downplay his achievement. But it's one of those things. Like, he got an award.
A huge achievement.
Yeah, he got a huge achievement for all of his hard work, and, like, that's because he also puts in 60+
literally
hours
his
a
life.
week. Yeah, like, and then you marry that with the I'm trying to think the best way to say it. You guys don't have an upside for income, really.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't get paid
literally what we're
hundreds
worth
of thousands of dollars for
yeah.
60+ hours of work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what makes it tough. And then you add the component of dealing with kids.
Exactly.
You know, whether you are dealing with kids who are like 9 and 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then Michael dealing with the high schoolers. I mean, kids are still kids. Like, that age, like, there are pros and cons for each age group,
Yeah.
but they're still, like, no matter what, they're kind of hard to deal with.
Exactly.
On a daily basis for years. Like,
for sure.
So from the out, again, like, I'm not a teacher, so I don't know if, like, what I just said you might not agree with, or a teacher might not agree with, whatever, but just from being with you, like, that's kind of what I've seen.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think most people would Agree 100% with what you said. I do.
I want to move on real quick to the next topic.
Yeah.
Looks like Sydney Sweeney back in the media circuit.
Yeah.
What you got going on there?
Well, first, shout out my friend Emma for sharing with me about Sydney Sweeney. So Sydney Sweeney and Glen Powell have been filming this movie together called Anyone But You in Australia. And so a little background on both of them. So Sydney Sweeney has, I don't know how recent, but like been engaged, I guess, to somebody. And then Glen Powell, I don't know if he's engaged, but I know he's been in like a long-term relationship with a woman. And with them two, Sydney and Glen, like filming this movie, there's been some like cheating rumors going on because a lot of these like videos or pictures have been like leaked of them. Like they're very close and like smiling, like not for the movie. Like they are filming a rated R movie together, but these things are like not during the movie. So they'll be like swimming or something and together and they're laughing and they're really close, or they'll be like dancing and like touching each other.
Spicy.
So people are like, what would you do if like your significant other was doing this with their coworker? Because like they're working together. PK again. But it's just, I don't know, a little sus. What do you think?
They could be. They could be doing the good old backdoor frolic. But they could also just be playing the media.
That's true. That's what people are saying too. Like maybe it's just like to get the movie going, but they'll be like staring into each other's eyes though and be like really lovey. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like you just do that with anybody.
I feel like they would if they were playing the media.
Maybe. You're right.
I think they I mean, they could, like, but Sydney Sweeney is engaged. I don't know who this Glen Powell guy is, but I heard on the radio what?
I don't know. I just thought you said his name. Glen Powell guy.
I have no idea who Glen is.
I don't really know him either.
But I heard on the radio that him and his girlfriend broke up.
Yes.
About, like, over these rumors. And the girlfriend's, like, representative tries saying that they've been broken up for, like, a while. But I think she posted something recently on Insta saying, like, you should know your worth or something along those lines. So they're obviously just effing lying.
Yes.
But
I'm glad you brought that up because, yeah, she's been, like, posting all this sad stuff, like, sad songs and stuff. So it's, like, I don't know.
Our puppy PK is going crazy over here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess time will tell if they really are trying to be together. But my gut tells me that they just are playing the media. And they want stories to come up right now. Mm-hmm. And because they just want to kind of get this movie in like the circuit. Like they want people to start talking about it. And it is R-rated, so you're going to see some going on in there. Can you let the dog out there, please? We have our puppy in here. Jeez, guys, come on. We're trying to do a show here.
We're busy.
We have a professional show that 5 people listen to. Come on. Yeah. So I'll leave it at that. Those are my last comments on that.
I think you might be onto something too, but just because they've been so close, I'm a little sus of them. But especially since if they really did break up, there might be something going on.
Yeah. All right, Brooke. So we have one more final segment. Mm-hmm. I want to get this thing done because we're like an hour in, and 15 minutes till the draft starts, and Bears pick number 1 at the 4th round or the 4th round. So
we get it.
I want to wrap this bad boy up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Personal development tips for today by Brendyn. That's the new tagline.
Okay, now.
Since I'm starting a new job, I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm living the cliche phrase people in corporate America like to say, drinking from the fire hose. Okay, so
Oh gosh, I hate that phrase.
yeah, you don't know a lot of corporate America jargon.
No, I've heard it. Some of my old coworkers have said that before. Like
Yeah.
when we first started at the beginning of the year, I had some older coworkers saying that. We're just drinking from the fire hose right now. I'm
Like, Brooke, how does it feel drinking from the fire hose? You doing all right? That's what they say. They say to you.
No, they say we are all drinking from the fire hose right now. I'm
I don't
like,
know about
okay.
all that. At some point, you gotta stop drinking from it. you gotta understand what's going on.
No, it's like beginning of the year, like chaos. That's what
I
they
got
say.
you.
Like
I got you.
how we're dealing. Anyways.
Yeah, let me get back
to
on
your
track
segment.
here.
Sorry.
So since I don't really know what's going on, I told myself, even though I don't know what's going on, I want to be very organized with my resources. Mm-hmm. So what I've been doing is I live by the, I don't know what the exact term of it is called, but like I don't know, the zero inbox, zero message inbox, whatever y'all want to call it. Basically, keep a clean email inbox.
Yes.
That's my first tip. So I use my email inbox as my to-do list.
Yeah.
So if someone emails me for a request, I keep it in there until it's done.
I do too.
When it's done, I move it to a completed folder or whatever subfolder I have, right? And then also like we all get a bunch of emails that don't really matter, like random announcements. I don't know. Delete, move into like a subfolder, whatever.
Literally.
Clean up your inbox.
Yes.
That's my first tip. When I first started my career, I never did that. So I had like thousands and thousands of messages in my inbox often. And now I feel really good having it relatively clean. So make sure you do that. My second tip is to time block your calendar. So you need to block off time for even like, sometimes I have a time block just for like focus time. Put your lunch break in there. Put like, if you want to block off some time for when you do check your email, put that in there, whatever. It helps you structure your day, especially if you're like me early on working somewhere. Like I've been having tons of like meetings. Mm-hmm. So blocking off my calendar and like basically one, it tells people I'm busy at this time, don't schedule a meeting. But then two, it also tells me this is my time to focus on actual work. So do that. And then my tip number 3 is color code your schedule. Like I have a color for certain meetings. Yes. I have a color for busy time, whatever. Mm-hmm. So then, I don't know. One, it makes you look super, super cool. I love to see that colorful. Like, exactly. Like it makes me feel like, I don't know, like organized in like a way. But also it kind of tells me like those subconscious cues. Like, oh, I have this type of meeting coming up because like this is this color here. Puppy dog here is amazing. So yeah, those are my professional and personal development tips for this.
I think I'm rubbing off on you a little bit with the color coding. I love to do that.
I've been doing that since 2020, girl. Don't even be doing that.
I've been doing that since life. So
what?
Yeah, I think you're trying to copy me now.
This is PK. I don't know if you guys watching this on YouTube, but he's over here. It's like, Dad, play with me. Come on.
He's ready now.
Come on.
His nap is expired.
Yeah, he's ready for activity.
But one tip I have with the inbox stuff is, I don't know if you use Gmail or not, but on Gmail you can create labels.
Yep, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, so if you do that, you can create labels. Like I do that for school too, or my work or whatever. When I get a certain email, like even if you don't want to delete it or like you want to keep it open and put it in a label, like make a to-do label, or I have like a million labels for everything because sometimes I want to keep it, but it just like gets out of the way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're definitely bringing the dog to my parents next week.
For sure.
All right, cool. All right, I think that is episode 15 is wrapped up. I think so. Do you have any departing words?
No, not much. Honestly, just like thank you everyone for listening, and we like both seriously appreciate like any kind comments from like friends and family, like things that you guys are liking or not liking about the podcast. Like it seriously helps us a lot, like thinking things to talk about and like segments that you guys are enjoying. And it's just super nice to like, I don't know, hear positive things always hearing good things is a good thing. So we really appreciate it. And so basically, you guys know the spiel. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe, comment if you feel like it. I don't know. Maybe something you enjoyed from this episode. And if you're on Spotify, like, give us a follow. You can also rate us on there. And that's about it. But I got just a huge thank you to everybody for listening.
Yeah, thank you. If you listen to this thing, thank you. I know our show sucks, so I really appreciate you all spending time with us. And that's it. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll try to be better next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya. Peace.